Okay, let's get started. So somebody is on a phone. If you could let me know who that is, just so I know who's on here. It just says iPhone.
Good morning. I'm in the meeting.
Hi, Twee.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, so whoever's on the iPhone, let me know who you are.
I am on my iPhone.
No, it's not you, Twee. Yours says your name. It's someone else that just came in. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get started. Today, I don't want to keep you guys long. I just want to keep it like a half an hour here. So what I'd like to do is go over some slides that I was given and give you kind of an overview of what PCS Grades is. So their tagline is buy-in for military and veteran families. This is a really neat program, and the more I find out about it, the more I like it. So let me just get started here. Yeah, let me get started here. So PCS stands for Permanent Change of Station, which is when a military family is transferred. Obviously, you guys are all familiar with military stuff, and I am too. My dad was stationed in Guam, and then so we lived in Guam, and then we were restationed to Bremerton, Washington when I was a kid. So I think this is a really neat program. I think you're going to like it. So the whole point of this is just taking care of military families and veterans. And it says here that their founder has been working over 5 years, leading the fight to change U.S. public law to provide equal survivor benefits for Guard and Reserve families also who have lost loved ones in the line of duty. So this is buying for military and veteran families, and this is kind of an overview. This right here, Todd Ernst, he's the founder and CEO of PCS Grades. I'm going to make this whole, all of the resources I have, I'm going to make available to you. So I'm going to ask you guys to all just create a folder on your laptop that says PCS Grades, so I can give you information. You can pop it in there and always, have it available. So must solve relocation problems. That is pretty much the goal of PCS Grades. There are all kinds of things that come up when these families have to suddenly move to a brand new community and they don't know anybody. There are horror stories out there of things happening. I've heard some of them. I remember being in on some of the original training that was done when PCS Grades was, they were kind of paired up with Realogy Military Rewards. It was a program through Realogy that gave a cashback bonus to clients that were working with an agent that worked with Realogy, that was in the Realogy network. And they ended up splitting off of Realogy because it was almost like they were a side. They were just like on the side. It's like Realogy Military Rewards was the main thing, and then PCS Grades was just on this thing on the side. So I'm actually glad they split. So they're their own lead source now, and they do have the cashback reward. I think it's, I don't know, it's like, it's somewhere in here. We'll get to it, but it's, I don't know, it's up to like 7,000. It's all based on the purchase price of the home. So this is kind of what is graded. So PCS Grades. So they've kind of set it up to where everything gets a grade, and it's reviewed by the military people. So, which is nice. So when somebody moves to a community in the military, they can grade the neighborhoods, the base housing, off-base housing. They can grade the moving companies there, apartments, schools, mortgage lenders, just all of those things, which I think is really neat. So what they did in this presentation here is go through some of these and what that might look like. So this is what a review looks like on their website for, off-base neighborhoods in this area. You can see that this one was given a grade of A. and it has 7 reviews. So you can see one here is by an Air Force spouse that has 12 PCSs. So they've been moved 12 times. And this spouse is the one that gave this review. So it lends more weight to the military families that are moving to get the reviews from military families, not just from the general public. And, you know, somebody that's been through the process of being moved by the military into a new neighborhood. It just lends a little bit more credibility and weight. So this is what, you know, base housing, that's what that would look like. Just reviews. So here are, so typical platforms allow unknown and unverified reviewers. So the next screen, it shows that this review, this member review is by an Army spouse. So you can see over here, there's just, these of various places have been given various grades, and you can see the review numbers. And then if you open it up, you can see who's giving the reviews. They also have area guides and a bunch of different articles, like 600 plus articles. So it's actually a really good resource. It's not just reviews. They've got a local area focus on the various, you know, areas that you might be stationed. They do live webinars, and I think those are open to agents and members. And this is kind of cool. They've got a 41,000 member Facebook page that is all about lost, you know, things that are lost during their moves. And just with a focus of helping solve problems because, you know, that arise because of that. They are on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. And I'm not sure what this spouse sponsor thing is about. I don't know. And then they also give grades to real estate agents. So they've got some criteria. And I know that I had reached out to all of you and asked you to think about people in your past that you've served that are, you know, military or veterans that could give you some reviews. And there's a process to getting that. So you don't just get the review and then pop it on there. There's, these have to be verified reviews. And so we'll go over that a little bit later, but there are definitely, there's definitely a process to that. Jared just came in, so I'm letting him in real quick. So this says agents with a minimum of 5 reviews and an overall assessment average of A in a given calendar year will have the opportunity to display their A graded status based on reviews from military and veteran families. So you have to start with 1 review to even open a profile. And there's a lady named Tammy Middleton that's going to work with you guys on this. You don't have to have 5 reviews right off the bat. There's more to this, and I don't know all of the details about it, but we'll get to that. But this is what it would look like if you're on the website.
Gordon?
Yes. Angie, did you want to say something?
If so on the question on the reviews. So when you open a profile, does the individual have to do the review, or can you take a past review and put it in there?
The individual is going to have to do the review. When you get your profile set up, which we'll talk about, you'll have to have your own profile on there. There's actually a link that just sends somebody an invitation to do a review on the website. And so that's what Tammy Middleton will be working with you guys on. Her goal is to get you guys on here and looking really good, having your profile be really good, so that members will choose you if they're looking at the agents that are available for PCS grades in a given area. So there is, just like Angie, just like the AST thing with the relocation team, where they can, with Navy Federal, they can get on the Navy Federal site and choose an agent. It's the same with PCS Grades. They can actually choose an agent. They don't have to. They can request that an agent be assigned to them also. But Tammy her job is to help you guys get your profiles set up and looking really good. So you'll get, you'll be chosen. And the leads that come in where they're not choosing an agent is kind of a round robin style for, for that area, for those zip codes. So that's kind of how that works. So here's where it talks about
Jordan.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to clarify then again real quick. So to get the reviews, you can't use reviews from your previous military people. They need to get an invite to rewrite the review specifically on our PCS website.
Well, that question is, I mean, that's not a yes or no question, because yes, you can use the review, but you'll need to have them do the review. So you could very easily, and there's a template here for, it's a very simple email that goes out. It's very effective. But you could always copy and paste the review that they gave you 5 years ago and say, hey, would you mind putting this on, this website so I can serve more military families, basically. So it's not a verified review if someone just copies and pastes, because they don't know if you just made up that review. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what gives it the credibility. Is
no worries, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so here are some of the relationships and partnerships that PCS Grades has already been working on. PCS Grades is the only non-federal entity featured in the DoD's Military One Source under traveling and moving. So that's pretty cool. And I've never heard of US Transcom, but US Transportation Command, who is responsible for the shipment of all household goods for military families, is a frequent guest on the PCS Grades weekly live webinars. So that might be fun for you guys to pop in on some of these webinars and just kind of see. They're working to integrate with official agencies on military installations, such as the Housing Office and Army Community Service Centers. They're currently doing so at Fort Stewart, Hunter, AAF, and Fort Polk. These are also organizations they work with. And more about that. And then just a little bit about the review process. I'm not going to go into this super heavy because this will be Tammy working with you guys, but it's an interactive review process with numerous advantages for agents who want to help shape their online reputation. You'll be notified when you get a review like this, and then you'll have the opportunity to delete it off your profile or not. Agents can click on a reviewer's username to open a messaging system. You can say thanks or begin a dialogue for the review. In the rare circumstance that an agent receives an overall grade of C or below, the review will not be published for 7 days. There's a little toggle thing here that you can enable the 7-day hold and then have the opportunity to continue the dialogue with the client about that, or delete the review or whatever. So you can see that you can delete it. Agents can provide their own open comments next to the reviewer's open comments, which is a really nice feature. And then I want to just quickly go over here to, so you guys are going to receive an email. You might already have it. I know that Tammy was kind of waiting for us to do this, so I could give you just the basic information at least first. But it's going to come from noreply@pcsgrades.com. And she said frequently that does end up in your spam. So if you don't have it by, I would say by tomorrow, let us know. But it's going to have a temporary password to log in. And once you're logged in, you can upload your photo and complete your profile. But she has already gone in and grabbed your bios and your headshots. She said she got almost all of them. So that I'm not sure who on our team here doesn't have a bio or a picture profile on our back end. That would have been on our back end with Dash, which is connected to ERA. So, but you guys can put that on there, and it'll need to be on there. And then you can start filling in all the extra information, any accreditations you have, just anything else you want to change. So she's like started a profile for you. You can go in and fill it out, make it look really good. And she'll help you with that. And then this has your personalized PCS Grades invite page to share valuable community reviews, buy-in for the military and veteran community, for base housing, local neighborhoods, schools, and much more. So you'll be able to see all this once you get into your account. When you're logging in, make sure you choose professional. So when your clients log on here, they're going to create an account with PCS Grades. It's free to be able to do your review, and they will choose personal. Obviously, they're not a real estate agent or mortgage lender or broker. Okay. So you're going to complete your profile. We already went over that. And this is just a bunch of other stuff. That's about it for that. And so if y'all want to screenshot this, that would be really good. So like I said, you're going to watch for an email from no-reply@pcsgrades.com with your temporary password to finish creating your, do your login and set up your profile, make changes, add what's missing. And then she said that on September 28th, which I believe is a Wednesday, there are 2 agent trainings available, and I would like for all of you to make it a priority to pick one of these. She gave me the central time zone, and so it's 8, it actually turns out to be 8 a.m. our time, which might be a really good time for you guys, because it's not in the middle of your day, but there is a 1 p.m. option too. And then next week, Tammy said she will be sending you guys an email with instructions on receiving reviews. So if between now and next week, if you could just work on making sure your picture is in there, making sure you've added all the things to your profile, that's the main thing. And then next week, we'll get to the next step, which is starting to get these reviews from your clients. And then lastly, like I mentioned, go ahead and create a PCS Grades folder on your computer, because I'd like to start sending you some things when, when it comes to me. I'm part of a shared, it's kind of a shared drive, but it has admin stuff on there. It has all kinds of stuff. So I don't think I'm going to share the Google Drive with you, but I think I will download all of the agent resources that are available on there right now and send them to you so you can keep them handy on your computer. So honestly, that's all I know. I see somebody's in the chat. Oh, Jared, can you please mute? Yeah, I think you took care of that. No problem. Does anybody have any questions just from the basics that we've gone over today?
I have one.
Okay.
So does this go for veterans that are no longer active as well? Because that's predominantly
Yes.
what we're going to get in Eugene.
Yep.
They're not active. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and this is meant for, yeah, this is, it kind of started out as active military, but their purpose is just to be a resource for all military and a support. And they are building this platform and this program out. We did a live Zoom with Jeff and Joanna. I think Peggy was on it, and Anna. And he talked a lot about, Todd Ernst, the founder, talked a lot about how they're beginning to make relationships with mortgage companies. And so these are going to come in all different ways, and they're building that up. So he said, when this just rolled out like over the summer. It's pretty brand new since they left Realogy. it kind of went null and void for a while they were building this up to be their own lead source. So there might not be a ton of leads coming through right off the bat, but the whole point of this is for you guys to be trained and available and ready so that when a lead does come through for your area, you're all set up and ready to go. So if there's some setup on the front end and just, you know, making sure you're understanding the program well. For Oregon, the cash back, I don't know how many of you have ever done one of those. We get them on through Realogy too. So the cash back in Oregon is handled as a closing cost credit and a commission reduction, depending on if you're the seller or the buyer agent. So it's a little different than Washington. So we'll find out more about that and all of the other details as I'll be on the training. I'll do one of the trainings on the 20th too, because I'm learning about this just like you guys. So that's about the extent of my knowledge of
So I'm not familiar with,
what's that?
I'm not familiar with how the cashback thing works. Does that, in lieu of like your 2.5% commission or whatever, you get a flat cashback based on the purchase price? Or I haven't ever dealt with that.
So the
I'm just
cashback,
curious.
for instance, Navy Federal and AARP are the ones that we're used to working with on the relocation team. So for Washington, they actually will get a check in the mail 3 to 4 weeks after closing from Navy Federal or from AARP. For Oregon, that's not allowed because we're one of like 3 or 4 states where we've got different rules. It goes as if you're the buyer's agent, it's a commission or it's a closing cost credit. And the way so it's actually a commission reduction of the agent to pay for the closing cost credit. And then on the back end, when we pay them the referral fee, when we pay Navy Federal or AARP their referral fee, we subtract that amount and give it back to the agent. So you're not actually, as an agent, you're not out any money. But that's how the benefit is given to the clients in Oregon. So that's how that works. It's a whole thing. And I wish it didn't have to be that way in Oregon, but they do get their benefit, which is nice. Any other questions?
In Oregon, they technically get their benefit faster because they're getting it at the closing table rather than 3 to 4 weeks out. It's just a little more paperwork to handle it.
Right, and it's not cash.
And that credit though goes to the buyer, right?
It goes to whoever the client is. If you represent the seller, it's just a
Right.
commission reduction is what it is. Yeah. And it's based on the purchase price of the home. So, yep.
For reviews, I have a lender who they predominantly, that's what they do, are VA loans. Can you get a lender review on your page as well? Or is it strictly for the clients?
I don't know. That's a good question. That would be something great to ask Tammy next week when she sends out the emails to you guys about your reviews, about getting your reviews. What I love about these, the PCS Grades people are super helpful. I've had nothing but good interactions with them. They are very quick to answer questions. They're just really good people. And all of the PCS Grades team, they are all military related people somehow. So it's been really nice working with them. So I would just say those kind of questions, ask Tammy. If you do ask her a question and you find out an answer, I would love it if you'd shoot me your question and answer, just so I'm in the know too. I see another couple chats, questions. Yeah.
Well, that's the other, because this
Thanks,
lender, they're all VAs that work there and they're affiliated with military. So it'd be a good plug for them too.
Sure. Yep. Bring it up to Tammy. I don't really know. I that might be totally possible, but I just don't know the answer. So we will figure out the answers
Will
that we
do.
don't know, we'll figure them out. Anyone else have any questions? We're right at 10:30, so if there's no other questions, I'd like to let you guys go and just be watching for your email and get started on your profile, and make sure to put on your calendar one of those trainings. I will send you the Zoom links to the trainings to your DM in Slack. Sound good?
Profile already created.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for popping on here real quick, and we'll be in touch.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.